everybody, or afternoon, whatever the case may be. Yeah, I couldn't make it in today. My weekend got cut pretty short by the flu, so instead of coming in and running out of steam and bringing anything bad to you guys, I thought I'd take the day off. So we've got the review today, which probably is a half-decent day for me to be gone. I wanted to cover a couple of things with you. The test information is up on the board. You can bring a page of notes. So bringing a page of notes is a good idea. You know the details on that. As I was going through the lessons, the last lesson for day 5, and I know you guys probably have some questions for me. We'll have to handle that on Wednesday. I'll try to shorten the test up a little bit so that it gives us some time to talk about any questions that you have. But what I would encourage you to do is to have a second look at your notes, specifically the scope of the inference. This really is a culminating idea, and the more I taught the lesson, the more I looked at some of the problems, the more it dawned on me how important these two ideas really are. So the random selection of individuals allows us to make inference about the population. Random assignment of individuals allows inference about cause and effect, and those two ideas are huge. So think about those a little bit. Maybe go back to some of the questions that you would have had for me today. See if you can't apply these, and we'll look at one, or well, probably one of them anyway here in just a minute. So there was one problem I wanted to go back to. We had a problem the other day. I think it was on day 4. It was number 89. It's on page 268 here. I'm going to zoom in on this real quick for you. It's talking about a farmer experimenting with Fuji or Gala apples and to see what kind of production he could expect for each of them. And it asks what the experimental units are of the study. And when I first read this, I went, well, the trees, of course. And I had somebody ask me, and apparently in the back of the book it says the plots. And I had to chew on that for a little while. And of course it's not the trees. The trees are the treatment in this case. They're planting the trees on the plots. So the plots actually are the experimental units. So I don't know if you struggle with that idea as well, but it took me a minute to kind of think about why that would be, and then when it dawned on me, it was like, well, yeah, of course it's the plots. So I wouldn't have gotten that one right had I answered it all on my lonesome. I would have just jumped to the trees. But we're not doing anything to the trees. We're doing something to the plot, changing the plot. So I hope that makes sense. The other problem I was kind of hoping to look at here was 107. This one's on page 282. It's one of the ones from the next assignment here. And it talks about 93,600 women taking part in this study. But there's a problem here. It says women who volunteered to take part. So if they volunteered, they're choosing themselves. There's no random selection in this. So what can we draw from the study? Well, we can say that of the 93,600 women who took part in the study, those that ate the higher anthocyanins, whatever those are, and the pigment part of the berries, were less likely to have a heart attack. But we can't distribute that to the rest of the population of women because we have no control here. In fact, we've given up a couple of control possibilities here. One with the random sample, and yeah, pretty much that's it, I think. So I hope that sets well with you as far as those two. I will be here Wednesday for the test. I'm sure I'll be feeling good enough for that. But I hope you you have a good day. Remember, test on Wednesday. I'm not putting that off. The thing I would recommend is make sure you're reading through your notes. There is a lot of vocabulary in this chapter, and there's really no computation. It's all about understanding the situation and the details. So be careful about assuming it to be easier than you think. So test Wednesday. There is a review on the board over here somewhere, and I hope it goes well for you. So answers should be in the back of the book. You can refer to those. Feel free to talk to others. Like I said, I'll leave some space at the beginning of the class to talk about any questions that you have before we take the test. So anyway, thanks, and I'll see you Wednesday.